Good afternoon, everyone. It is Friday. It's 2 o'clock. It is our favorite day and time of day of the week in the world of Cub Scouting. I'm Anthony Berger. I'm the National Director of Cub Scouting. And with me today is the National Cub Scouting Chair, Miss Audrey Oakes. Audrey, how are you today?
I'm doing great, Anthony. Thank you. Good to be here.
And normally you would see either Gina or Aaron here. And so I'm going to do my best, as a wonderful Cub Scout motto is, do your best, to be today's host. And Gina, I believe, is on vacation. And I think Aaron is on a new book signing tour because, now it's Aaron on Scouting, and he's, his popularity is soaring through the roof. So today, we've got a great topic, and we've already got some great shout outs today. Rob's with us, and Wendy. Thank you for logging in and tuning in. Just a friendly reminder as everyone's coming on board live, make sure you tag a friend in the comments. Let people know that you're watching, and even if they can't jump on now and watch live, they can always watch it recorded. We know that, right? It's on the official blog of Scouting, on Aaron on Scouting, that you can find on the Scouting Magazine website. So welcome to Cub Chat Live. Today, we're talking about training, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we're not talking about the boring, I shouldn't say boring training. We're not talking about the training, like when you first join and, here's a Cub Scout and this is what this is. But there's more to that, isn't there?
Yeah, so kind of we need to think about why training's needed at all. And some of that is we do need some of the basic joining training, and I'm going to go over what that is just in case you're somebody who's thinking of being a leader and why you would need that. But the main reason is so that you can deliver an awesome program so that the scouts can get the most out of what they are there for, and we can build those character and leadership and physical fitness and citizenship and all those fantastic things that we're trying to build in our scouts. If you are fully trained, you are going to be able to deliver the program in a manner which will enhance those things. And we have tested methods, and our surveys say that this works, and that there's a very good outcome if you follow the program. Also keeps us safe. A lot of it is on safety, and that is a critical component right now to make sure that our scouts are safe and that they can enjoy the program in a safe manner. The other thing is just it can give you enhanced skills, so that maybe you're coming in here and you're like, I don't know how to do Dutch oven cooking, and I'd love to do that for a pack camp out. Well, there's opportunities for that. It doesn't have to be just the leadership things. There's opportunities for enhanced skill development. And lastly, I would think community development. So, and that a lot of us like to feel like we're part of a larger whole. And if you're in a training environment, you're meeting new people who are also on that journey with you, and that can build a sense of community and help when you need advice or comments or just encouragement. Sometimes it's a little, sometimes it's like, wow, I've got another meeting. What am I going to do? And it's great to have some input. So those are some of the reasons why we need training in general.
Awesome. And I think everyone, it just makes sense, right? Like if I'm asked to take a position in Cub Scout, let's say I'm going to be a den leader, right? It kind of makes sense that we need to have some kind of formal way to tell you on a very basic level, this is the job, this is the position, I should say, this is the tasks that are related to that, and a little bit of how you do this, right? But that's
right.
Kind of like, that's just the first step, right? Really, you're not, that's just the beginning. That's not the end. So we talk about a training journey. So what is a training journey? What is that? Like, we know the first step of that training journey starts with when you register and you're trained in youth protection training, right? And then you go on to take position-specific training. But is there more? What's left of that journey?
Right. And that is sort of the concept we're trying to get across, is that it is a journey. It's not something that necessarily ends. It is something that you have block points or milestones that can be understood, like for the joining requirements. If you're a leader, you need to have those two things you just mentioned: youth protection training and the leader specific training. But the training continues the rest of the time as you learn and grow. And maybe you're going to move forward with your child into the next program, into Scouts BSA, or even on your own adventures. I've learned skills just for myself, so I can enjoy the outdoors more and be competent in skills out there. And so the idea is that training doesn't end. That there's beginning points and block points, but it doesn't end. And the other thing is that things are constantly being updated. Safety is being updated. New activities are being updated. And so you want to keep on in touch with that. And so the journey we would recommend doesn't end. It's something that I'm a lifelong learning in many things, and that would include scouting as well, and specifically Cub Scouting. So I think I'm going to remind you of our resource sheet, which is a great place to start when you're looking for resources. It has everything on there in a QR code format. There's our resource sheet. Excellent, excellent. And so some of the very best places to start is on the bottom. There is the QR code for training. And it's going to have some other things I'm going to highlight again, and some of our apps, which are great for my.scouting.org is where you do that beginning of the journey with the youth protection and the position specific. And so if you click on this QR code, that's going to take you to the training website, and that shows the different training opportunities available. Yeah, there you go. There you go. And so that's a quick and easy way to get there. And we recommend everybody have this resource sheet picture on your phone, so you can always scan it. You can show a friend, where to find these things quickly and easily. So as you're continuing through your journey, after your position specific trained, some of the enhanced training, one of them is we shorten it to BLUE, but it's actually I know it's a cute name, right?
It's an acronym because it's scouting and we can't help ourselves.
Right, we can't help it. So it's very cute. But it is basic outdoor leader, or basic adult leader outdoor orientation. So this is a must for Cub Scouting. If you are one adult leader, must be trained in this to go on a pack overnighter at a minimum. And we recommend many more than one, but at least one. And so that makes sure that all the skills are there for the age group, the age appropriate activities that are happening. And so that would be one that I would recommend for everybody. I have taken it years ago, and it's a very good starting point. And it's especially important from our safety aspect as the young ones. We are definitely in charge of making sure that they are in a safe environment, and gives you some of that confidence and building of community. I think that's one of the first places where you start building community is usually BLUE, or basic adult leader outdoor orientation, is held at a council or district level. And so that's a great way to start meeting people in your area that are also doing the same things in building community. And they might have great ideas on where to go for a pack overnighter and other things that they do. And you can start sharing that sense of community.
Yeah, we've got some shout outs. We've got some great views so far. Jeremy, hello from Pack 257 in Northport, Florida. I actually know where Northport, Florida is. Pack 2835, committee chair and advancement chair. And I am not going to be able to pronounce their district. Arahotac district committee member. That's Amanda. And we've got, that's Chesterfield, Virginia. There you go. Rob's talking about, he's all over BLUE. He's like, that was the first thing. When we talked about other things other than position specific training, Rob jumped in right away and said, yeah, BLUE. And the cool thing about BLUE is that not only do you meet Cub Scout leaders from your local community that are going through the same thing you are, right? Maybe different readiness levels, but they all got kids that are Cub Scout age. They're all leaders like you are. They're all having these similar experiences to help build that community of support and just to meet maybe some new friends.
Yeah.
The other cool thing is sometimes BLUE, the people who are staffing BLUE, that trainer, sometimes that person is just a hidden gem within the community. It might be, by day they are coding for some financial institution, but their true passion and their hobby is horticulture, or it might be plant identification, or you never know. And they're just a wealth of fantastic knowledge, especially of their local community and the local outdoors. And I do want to kind of point out as well that when we talk about Baloo, we talk a lot about the outdoors, but Audrey said it very specifically, and I want to make sure we catch that this isn't just about camping. If your pack is going to do any overnighter, so even if you're doing a lock-in, if you're doing something that I saw recently, someone spent the night at the aquarium, at least one Baloo trained leader needs to be with that group to help guide the planning and the execution of that event. All right.
Yeah, and it's the fun place, right? It's the fun thing to do, to get out there. That the Scouts are really looking forward to these kinds of things. There is an online component that you do beforehand, and then there's the actual specific outdoors skills level training. So that's fun. And like you said, you never know who you're going to meet. Maybe those are going to be some people that you bring in to work on an adventure, to be as a guest speaker,
right.
or things like that. So this is a really good resource. So as you're looking through some of those things, I just want to highlight a few other trainings that are not going to be necessarily Cub specific, but there might be a component that's Cub specific. Okay. So there's SAFE training, which is also an acronym, SAFE, and we just did, Anthony just did it Cub Chat Live, I think it was 2 weeks ago. So check on your Cub Chat Live list, and that is, yes, exactly, there we go, perfect. And so if you didn't hear that, you should go back and listen to that, and that's a great resource. And then there's also the Guide to Safe Scouting, which lists, and every leader needs to know where the Guide to Safe Scouting is on the website, and you need to know what is appropriate for Cub Scout level ages and what is not appropriate. And so that's another one. If you're on the older end of things, or you're doing adventure things, you need to know the safe swimming, safety afloat, and certain adventures as the age goes up towards the Webelos will have some components of that. Usually it's not a council thing, but these are good training to have as you're out and about. And also hazardous weather. I learned a lot in hazardous weather, because if you go, sometimes people do travel across the country in different zones, and you might not be aware of weather in another area and the dangers that there are. I live in the Pacific Northwest, and we are one of the top in the world for avalanche danger. Oh. So even if you're going out for a little hike, you really need to know where you're going. And for us, it's because we have a lot of precipitation, a lot of rain, and then it freezes and colds, and it makes these layers, and the layers are unstable. So they're easy to slide. So even if you're going for what would seem like an easy hike, you really should know about is there an avalanche danger here? So
and hazardous weather training is if you are what we call a direct contact leader. So den leaders and Cub masters and committee chairs, that's part of your position specific training. But if you are trained as a committee member, that's not.
It might not be.
So if you're a committee member and you've taken position specific training, go back and take hazardous weather training as well. And now you're almost, you're halfway there to being a trained pack committee chair.
And it's even for your own personal skills, even if you're not a leader, if you're just a parent, This is something that is good to have for your own family. One of the things, there's a driving safety segment, and I don't remember the exact name, but it's about ways that you get places that you're going to go meet up. You don't, do caravanning and things like that. So make sure you're fully alert. And we've done safety moments on that in some of our meetings. And those are good things for any level of person, just any person.
Right? You brought up a good point, right? So often, if it's a pack event, right, it's only going to be an overnighter. But if you stayed up all night, hanging out with your Cub Scout family and your community, and you didn't get a good night's sleep, well then you're exhausted, and then you got to pack everything up, and then and then you're you're hitting the road, and that's not a safe situation.
No,
So
no, it's
it's
not.
little things like that that sometimes we really may not think about, but you have to stop and think about these to be out. We want you to be safe. We care about you. These
Mhm.
aren't to try to take the fun away out of anything. It's just to make sure that we are having fun in a safe environment.
Right.
Um, and
And
and that
it gives you confidence that you are doing the right thing as well. And I would recommend reviewing some of those that we have. And some of them do have time limits on them. I can't remember which
you
is
have to
which.
retake them every night, right?
Yeah, some of them
Yep.
you have to retake every year or 2 years, and because it needs to be fresh, and maybe things have been updated. Maybe there's new knowledge out there, a new way of handling. And I know, like with CPR, we've changed so many times since I started. So things do change and are updated. So that would be another reason to take a look at them right before you're going to go do some.
Yeah, and I would do want to also hit on the swimming,
Mhm.
the safe swim
Yep.
defense and
Safe and
safety
effective.
float. That
Yep.
is required training if you're going to take your kids on or around the water. So,
Mhm.
and don't worry, those are online courses. You don't have to get in the water to complete those. But that gives you the knowledge of how to run a safe aquatics program
Mhm.
with your pack or den or whatever level you're going to be doing it on. So those are required training for those activities.
Right. And then I would look at your council. I know my council, like I said, I'm in the Pacific Northwest. I happen to be in Seattle area, and we have something called the Program Training Conference that happens every year. Others call it a Scouting University.
Yeah.
Some still call it, yeah, University of Scouting, or you flip it around.
Right.
Some call it a powwow. I think that's kind of going away as a
Yeah.
word, but Scouting University is probably a really good word, and ours is specific. And it has in-person basic training, because maybe you just don't connect online and you need that in-person thing. It goes into some of the advanced things. It goes into like ours goes into a whole range of Cub Scout, what are great crafts and songs, and what does your blue and gold look like. And it has, like I mentioned at the beginning of the thing, how to do Dutch oven cooking, and maybe radio etiquette, so that you can participate in some of the world events, like the uh, JOTI,
Jamboree on the air, right?
Jamboree on the air and Jamboree on the
Jamboree on
internet.
the
There we
internet,
go.
yeah.
I got the acronyms mixed up. And so things like that. So that's at a council level for our area. So look for some things like that to enhance your training, your ongoing thing. Make the program more interesting, exciting, and fun. Get some new skills. Or build some more community. This is a fantastic place to build community, even in a larger area. And maybe you find out you like training. Maybe you are the next
Right.
trainer.
Right.
And if you're the next trainer, there's classes for you. There's Train the Trainer. And that's how I actually got really involved in scouting, was through training. So
Yeah.
I would teach other families. I would teach other adults. I did roundtables. I did all sorts of things. And that was my sense of community, where I got a better sense of what I wanted to do and where I wanted to help serve. So you never know. You never
There you
know.
go. So if
Yeah.
anyone out there ever wants to be the national chair of Cub Scouting, there's your path.
There's a path anyway. And then the next thing is better leadership. If you would like to develop, and we highly encourage you to develop better leadership skills, there are some fantastic courses available that are ongoing to develop your skills, to develop community, and to actually get physical leadership, time management, listening, all those conflict resolution, all those kinds of good things. And that's called Wood Badge. And it is a multi-day event in your council. It's open to all the programs, but definitely is open to Cubs. Sometimes people think, oh, that's not for Cubs. No, that's definitely for Cubs.
Yeah.
And so take part in that. See what you can learn there. It's a top quality leadership program, as well as, like I said, building those community, creating great ideas. Some great friendships have come out of that for me personally, as I've gone on this journey. And as you're an adult, sometimes it's hard to find those connection points in the world of work and that. And it's very nice to have a sense of community and build friendships there, someone else to go on this journey with. So
yeah, and in the lessons you hit on that, right? So Wood Badge, it really has evolved into what are you going to learn there, right? People always want to know that, and it's really hard to describe because it's very experiential learning. It's not book learning. And the things that you walk away with, I've met folks that after wood badge, they're like, I run my business this way now. I learned group dynamics. I learned project management. I learned so many things about this, and wood badge kind of gives you this taste, and then helps you apply that to not only scouting, but just, lots of lifelong skills that makes you a better person. And that's so, yeah, when you hear a lot of people talk about wood badge, and at times for new folks, like when you're first coming in, it's like, it seems a little weird. I know that, like, I get that, because like people will shout out animal names, and they'll use kind of this code and stuff. And trust me, it's a very welcoming when you're there. It's going to be fantastic. And so if you're ever thinking about wood badge, or there's an opportunity coming close to you, doesn't matter how long you've been in, how short or how long you've been in, wood badge is always an appropriate time to go. And like, you see these testimonies that, these are
exactly. And I think that even if you have strong leadership skills, there's a place for you there as wood badge to help others, and to, like I said, build other communities and maybe get new ideas on things. So it's, even if you feel like you already have that, if you're already a manager in your business and they've already sent you to leadership school, I think you can, if you have a learning mind, an open mind to learning and experiences, that you can learn really anywhere something new. And it's because of the people, right? It's because of the people around you. So yes, we're not running wood badge now. I have in the past, but we're not running wood badge now. But just a plug that it is for Cubs. It's not just for the older programs. Yeah. It's also open to professionals.
For anyone. I went when they first launched. Yeah, I've been to wood badge as a professional.
And then one of the other things I just want to highlight is Philmont. There's also a national training center in Philmont, at Philmont, which is near Cimarron, New Mexico. And they have a whole program that goes on normally in the summer. And I think there's a few classes on the sides. I mean, there's been everything from how to fly fish, for if you want to do our fishing adventures, all the way up to the merit badges. There is, I know I've gone for international training. That's another love of mine. And so there's different connection points there that it may interest you. It is, of course, a camp that you're paying for to go stay at. So it is a little more cost. It's not online. But that is a fun experience. They have a family program so that the families can go do horseback riding and crafts and things like that while you're in the classes. So just a shout out there that's another fun thing to do, another different kind of learning experience.
Yeah, Philmont is beautiful country. In fact, you can. I'm trying to go the opposite way. So yeah, that's a little image of Philmont. Wherever you see that rock, that ridge in scouting. That's Philmont. It is an amazing spot. It's worth every dime to go there for the experience. You can go to if you just Google Philmont Training Center, their page will pop up, and then you can see the list of offerings of different things that are out there. Again, it may not be Cub Scout specific. It may be actually district operations or council operations or other leadership opportunities, or great plug. Even during the summer or other seasons, there's also the family adventure camps that Philmont runs. So you can go just as a family and not take any kind of real official training, but you will learn a lot by going to any of the family adventure camp at Philmont, or we even have it at Sea Base in the Florida Keys. So. Right.
So there's some great opportunities. So I think we're almost down to our last.
Yeah, so we've talked a lot about, there's these, everything so far sounds pretty formal, like the position specific training's online. They've got online modules. It's a class that starts and ends, right? I can maybe I get a certificate, maybe I get a patch for going. But is my journey done then? How do I know that I'm done with my journey? Like, how do I know, like, what's that next step? How do I stay on this path?
Well, as I said, I would think that the journey doesn't end, right? You have block points or milestones. So as you allude to, you can get certificates. You can get in wood badge. You get certain beads that you get for attending, and then staffing. You get another one. And if you're a course director, you get another one. It also applies to the youth side, the youth training side, the national leadership training, and so on. So those are like little block points or milestones or necessary certificates to go out on an outing. But our resource sheet has some QR codes. And thank you. There we go. And these are opportunities to continue your learning on and on. So we have wonderful things out there. Our national website, the Cub Scout national website, which is the very first QR code. Thank you so much for putting that up there. Is a good place to start. If you just go into Cub Scouts leader, and then become a Cub Scout leader, there's a whole list. There's a list of training, and you scroll down and you can find it. If that isn't fast enough for you, we have our other QR codes, which is what I love, is Cub Chat Live, which is what we're doing right now. Every week we have a new topic, and we try to be super sensitive to what is going on as we see in social media, or new training or new things come up, new things you need to know. We get that on there right away as soon as possible. We bring in the subject matter experts. Sometimes it's us, sometimes it's people outside. And that is a great list. It happens every Friday, 2:00 Central. And with the exception of holidays, we have a best of section, but mostly every Friday. And then there's the list if you go the QR code, and you can always go back and look those up if you're having an issue or just want to learn more. We really encourage that. The next thing is the next QR code, which is virtual roundtables. And this is roundtable is another kind of funny word, but it's supposed to be a gathering of leaders that your district or your council holds, and they do training and they do informational and they give ideas. And so that's a sense of community. And it is usually a live, or it could be still on Zoom, or it could be a combination. And there's topics on there. And so we have some specific videos. They're shorter. So Cub Chat Live is usually about a half an hour. These videos are, what are they, 8 to 10 minutes, 7 to 10 minutes, something like that. They're short. And so that's a great snippet way to just kind of get some meat nugget on a topic. And you do not have to be a leader or go to Roundtable to have access to these great videos. So you just click on the link, and it shows you all the videos that are available on all sorts of topics that are really handy. And so we highly encourage you to take a look at that. And then the last one is the training website itself. And they list all the formal classes that are available. And there are, you can take one module at a time. You can break it up into small bits. You can do whatever it is that works with your schedule. And so we really encourage you taking a look at all those things. And of course, our resource sheet is the place to start, because it just gets you right there without having to memorize all the links and so on.
Yeah, we love QR codes now, right? We really started utilizing them and having such a positive response to them too. It really makes it easy when we're doing presentations like this, whether it be virtual or in person. We just flash on the screen. If we're too quick, just pause the video when it's recorded, and you can just snag it there. And then now you can bookmark that straight to your phone. So it's super easy to find.
And the other thing I didn't highlight yet is that there's safety moments on the training link when you click on the QR code. And we're highly encouraging any leaders, if you're starting a committee meeting or a leader meeting, that you start with a safety moment, because we're really encouraging a culture of safety to make sure everybody has the best time. And so there's some safety moments there that are already done for you that are great learning experiences, and maybe something you're not even aware of that is a needed thing to be safe on. So, and
those are moments, right?
Yes,
that's the key, right? It's not safety training. It's designed to be just plant the seed in your mind. Here's some resources for more details.
Right. And so like my national committee meeting, we start with a safety moment, and it's like 3 to 5 minutes. It's just really quick, just to keep our minds thinking about safety at all the times.
Yes.
So, yeah, those are great resources.
So that's a journey right now. So now we really are talking about like everything from the first step, right, which is youth protection training, that starts this new journey that I'm on.
Mhm.
of continuous learning. And I can take classes and sessions that have this beginning and end, that there's a certificate, and then there's continual education, right? There's just
Mhm.
that constant feeding of information, making sure that we're staying up to date on, we to remain relevant as an organization. At times we have to make some changes, right? We have to make
Mhm.
adjustments. And
Mhm.
this channel is one example of us being able to get that information out, and in a timely manner, as quickly as we can, to as many people as we can. So as we talk about that, help us get as many other people out here to watch and to view. Make sure to tag a friend, take the link. We share it if you see it being advertised. We advertise the show every Thursday and Friday on
Right.
national Facebook pages. Like and share those posts when you see it being promoted. We recently did survey information, and we know that the vast majority of people actually hear about this show through
Mhm.
Facebook. So we want to continue that trend and make sure people are aware of it. All right. So our journey. I'm gonna ask you this question about journeys. So where's the next journey for Audrey Oaks? Where are you? Where's your next? Because maybe people don't know this. Audrey's a world traveler. She just has the travel bug, and she loves going everywhere. She's very highly involved in international scouting. I think
Yes.
that probably helps feed the.
Yeah, feed the bug, yes. Yeah, and that's an excellent point of learning, right? Is expand yourself. So yes, I get to go to. I'm very blessed to get to go to Australia, New Zealand is my next journey, and I anticipate learning a lot on
Yeah.
that journey, from underwater Great Barrier Reef, snorkeling to all the animals to the Lord of the Rings scenery and all that. So if I was a Cubs leader, at the unit level, I would be able to bring back lots of really interesting things. So it doesn't have to be limited to formal journeys, right? To the formal
Right.
education, we're always learners, and we're always bringing in new things to make it fun and exciting. And wouldn't it be fun to, like, bring back a little bit of Australia as I came back from a trip to bring into my den meeting. And exactly as you said, there are scout offices throughout the whole world, and you can go and you can get patches or something significant from it. And I've participated in some just get to know you things where they present you with something that's very important. It's like a little leaf from Scouts in New Zealand, and there's a whole story behind it, and a leadership journey, and it's a whole meaningful thing to them. And what a neat opportunity to exchange those kinds of learning experiences.
And those life experiences, right? That really is part of your learning journey, right?
Mhm.
If you
It is.
had that experience, and that, I guess that's what I'm trying to drive home, is it doesn't have to be something that's formal. It doesn't have to be a
Right.
class. It doesn't have to have a name, right? That lesson that you learned from a pack meeting, right? Something
Mhm.
didn't go the way that you thought it would.
Mhm.
Let that be a learning lesson. Don't let it be an obstacle. Don't let it be something that gets you. Look at it as an opportunity to live and learn, and then
Mhm.
wherever that is you learned, and you found a great way to get around that obstacle, share with others, right?
Yeah.
Then now you're a learning journey trainer, right?
Mhm. Exactly.
Make a passion for that now. All right. Well, thank you, Audrey, so much for your time this afternoon. Viewers, I hope you learned a little bit more about the training journey, especially some of these things. If you've been around for a while, you've heard about them. But if you're new to Cub Scouting, and you're looking for that next step, or gosh, where do I go from here? Hopefully we've given you some great ideas of things to be on the lookout for that should be in your local community,
Mhm.
offered maybe 2 or 3 times a year, and then how to stay connected through this show, through roundtable videos,
Mhm.
and other resources within your local council. I think last week we did a show about how to connect with your local council
Right. Right.
resources, and so it's all there for you. And if you know about all this stuff, right, and you watch the show and you're like, yeah, that wasn't much, then you probably know someone who just started scouting or is new in Cub Scouting. Tag them and say, hey, this is for you, right? That's
Mhm.
really that's so helpful to us and for the movement overall, right?
Mhm.
The more people that are informed of how to deliver the program as designed, the better it is. So
Yeah.
once again, thank you for showing up. Thank you, Audrey, so much.
Hey, thanks for being here.
And we will see you all next week on Cub Chat Live. And you will have, I guarantee you, you will have a much better host than I was in the show. So have a great week.